Hey everyone, it's Anne Sinclair from Digestive Detective. Over the last couple of weeks we've been talking about food cravings and how to satisfy those food cravings and things like that, and what minerals you can take to help out with that. So today I wanted to talk about signs you may have a food sensitivity, because I get asked this question quite a lot, well, what else could it be going on with me? And sometimes for a lot of people it is food. There is not one food that everybody's good at. Besides, even though we think coconut oil is king or avocados are fantastic, not every food is good for everybody. So some of the things that you can notice, some signs in your own body that you can notice, are black circles under the eyes. So if you eat something consistently over and over, you'll get black circles under your eyes. Now that's not the only reason that you get black circles under the eyes, but if you feel like you're suffering a food intolerance or a food sensitivity, that may be one of the reasons. So you get swollen around the eyes sometimes as well, or a little bit puffy when you wake up in the morning. That is definitely food sensitivity that can be causing you inflammation. Another big one is allergies that never go away. That you're snotty and sneezy and you almost look like you've got hay fever, but it's not really hay fever because you have it all year long. So that's a really good sign that you have some sort of food allergies and intolerances. And my son is a classic for that one. He says, no, I don't have food allergies yet. He's sneezing and sneezing and sneezing and really snotty all the time. Muscle pain or any mystery pains, joint pains or pains that move around your body, fibromyalgia, inflammatory pains like your ankles swell up or your hands swell up. Any sort of those sorts of things can definitely be related to food allergies. And this is one that I'm sort of going to talk about a little bit, and I've mentioned it before, food addiction to certain foods. So Harrison, my son, who's now just 17, loves yogurt, and he would eat 2 kilograms of yogurt a day if you let him. And that's because he gets a real opioid release from things we love, cheese, and other things that our body really craves and loves. It gives this real opioid release, and it makes our brain feel good, like we're taking crack cocaine essentially. And so it's generally released, makes us feel good, and then our body reacts on a gut level. So going back to Harrison, so he eats a lot of yogurt. So I say to him, I think that you're having a sensitivity to food, to yogurt in particular. No, I'm not. And so he ate a lot of yogurt over a period, and he got worse and worse and worse, more sneezy. Tissue box a day he would go through with the sneezing and carrying on. So he's been off yogurt for about 2 months now. It's no sneezing, no runny nose, no itchy eyes, no hay fever symptoms. It's completely resolved itself. So it's really important to look out for those signs. Brittle nails, dodgy skin, like not as vibrant and exuberant as it could be, and hair, really brittle hair. If your hair keeps breaking and stuff, that can be food issue based as well, because what's happening is you're not absorbing the food as great as you'd like to be, and therefore you don't get the flow and effects through your body. Any sort of digestive disorders, like if you've got inflammatory bowel disease, so ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, SIBO, if you've got SIBO, you're likely to have some food sensitivities going on there. And generally, if I see you in practice, it's not such a big deal, because I then put you on a diet, and we can the diet's quite restrictive, so we can work out what's causing you issue when we bring stuff back. So, but generally, if you're not seeing anybody, the food will play a part in those conditions, even though your gastroenterologist or your doctor will go, no, food doesn't play a part. In those sorts of chronic illnesses, it really, really does play a part. The next symptom is a headache that you get sort of shortly after eating, say 30 minutes to 2 hours after you've had something to eat. That's the body making an immune response to something that you've eaten. So keep a lookout for those sorts of things as well. The other thing is, if you're really tired after food, that's not the only reason. Again, there are many things that can make you tired after food. If you've had too many carbs, or if you're eating something that's not right for your body, that will also make you sluggish. But if you're having something that's giving you an inflammatory response, it will definitely make you a little bit sleepy. The other thing that's really great to think about too is low mood or anxiety. They can be real food sensitivities as well. If your heart starts to race after you've had something to eat, so if you can feel your pulse banging through your body shortly after you've had something to eat, that's a really good sign that something you've just eaten is not feeling good or sitting good in your body, that you're having some sort of reactivity to it. So some of the things you need to do, we know that you need to remove the offending cause, and I say that all the time about most conditions, to take away the cause, but sometimes it's layers like an onion getting to the cause. But if you remove foods that are causing you issues, you can then generally go on and find an underlying cause much better. So in my practice, I actually use this test called a Hair 500 test. We cut a small piece of your hair off and we test it against 500 different foods and chemical sensitivities in your on the list that's recorded, and we have American tests and Irish tests and 13 countries all around the world we do the test too. So it gives us specific foods to eliminate, so that way you don't have to cut everything out of your diet. It tells you exactly what your body's showing inflammation to. And the other thing you can do is slightly more complex, but still has a good result if you don't want to go to the expense of testing that, is a food rotation diet. So you don't eat the same foods in a 72-hour period. So you virtually do a 3-day food meal planner, and then don't have the same food in that 3 days, and then in the next 4 days you do a different one that doesn't include any of the foods for the first one. So it can be quite arduous, but it will get you the same result. And it's best to keep a food diary when you're doing that, and then look at things with how you process it. You've had your, say, breakfast, and then think about, am I experiencing something? Or I've got a pain, I've got more gas, I've got a headache, or I've broken out in a little bit of a rash. Keep an eye on the foods in that specific meal you had. With food intolerances and sensitivities, you can have reactions up to 72 hours after. So that's why it's really difficult to pinpoint. So based on this, as a special offer to the group for this week, for today only actually, I'd like to offer the tear test. It's normally $300, but I'm going to offer it for $250. And so if you go to Digestive Detective and click on book now, it will come up there. I'll go and put it in there. And so to get started, all you have to do is cut me a thumb-sized piece of hair, pop it into a Ziploc bag, put it into an envelope. I will email you and get the symptoms and signs that you're having, and then we post it in. It normally takes 1 or 2 days to get tested, and then you come back and you follow it it's a 6-month period, and then you take things out. Be warned though, the things that you love will come up. And Xanthi, I see you're watching, and I know how hard it is for you. Xanthi is a really clean eater, and she had things come up like avocado. So avocado was one of her loves. So you have to take that out for 6 months to reduce the inflammation, and then you can bring it back. So be warned that the foods you really eat regularly over and over are causing your body sensitivity. So just be mindful of that. If you decide to do the test. So it's for today only. That if you would like to go ahead with that, I'll do it for $250. And I'll look forward to next week for Thursday's tip, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye.